morning, City Kids! This morning, I woke up and I was looking at my wall of all these paper collages, and I was just looking at them, and then there, I had an idea of making a different kind of a collage, very similar technique using a scissor and just origami paper, but making a pattern out of them. And that is very similar to what we're doing, but also a little different, and I thought all the City Kids can have a lot of fun doing this, so we're gonna do that today. Would you like to try that with me? Ready? And in 3 seconds, we're gonna start making them. And in 3, 2, 1. Okay, everyone, so I have all the materials that I need for this paper collage again. And it's the same as yesterday. So we have origami papers, scissors, glue stick, and a pencil or a color pencil for sketching so that we can cut out with the scissor later. And there's a polar bear that will be watching us the whole time. Alright, I'm going to use maybe, I like this lavender color. I think I'm going to use this as a background. But other than that, let's cut out some shapes first. So yesterday with rainbow, we cut out hearts and stars and many different random shapes, right? Today, we're going to make line and circle only. So let's make line first with maybe blue, light blue. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to cut out lines, and there's two ways of doing this. I can just cut out a line like this, and do not worry about it being straight. I think if it's not straight like this, it looks even more interesting. So don't worry about them being straight. So I'm going to make the line, and it's not straight at all, but I don't mind. Or you can make a line with your pencil and then cut it if that is easier for you. So you can choose to draw with pencil first and then cut, or you can just decide to cut with the scissor first like me. So I'm going to use this whole paper to cut some lines. I'm going to make some thin lines and also very thick lines. And I'm also going to make lines that are very thick on one side but gets very thin on the other side. You see that? Okay. And I want to make maybe a line that starts as one but splits into two later. Okay, so I have a lot of different kinds of line in front of me here. And I would like to have some different paper. Oops, sorry, polar bear. And then I'm going to use maybe, I feel like pink. Okay, I'm going to use pink to make circles. I'm going to fold it so that I can make as many circles as possible. And remember, if you need help with cutting, you can ask any adults that is around you to help you. And I'm going to draw circles, because circle is a little hard to cut out. So I'm going to draw using a pencil first. That makes it easier for me, and then start cutting with a scissor. So don't worry if you're cutting it yourself. If your scissor doesn't follow exactly where your pencil is going, that is okay, because like I said before, making a perfect circle or a perfect line is not what we are trying to do. Most of all, we just want to have fun, and perfection doesn't give us fun. What gives us fun is the experience that we have, making things together, and the happiness we get from making artwork together. There we go. There are my circles again. And this little scrap of paper, I would like to use this paper, but now look at all these holes I have. I think that's very interesting. I think I want to use this paper also for a collage. Maybe the polar bear can stay right here. Okay, sounds good. Alright. Okay. And then with this, I'm going to start putting them onto the paper using my glue stick. So I have strips circles, and this leftover, and on the background. So, do you remember where I like to glue first if you have a background and a paper cutout? That's right, I like to glue with the smaller piece of paper first. So, is this bigger or is this bigger? So strip is smaller and the big backdrop is bigger, right? So I'm going to glue on the strip first. Using my glue stick, make sure that every side has glue on it. If you need help gluing, ask any of the parents. And I'm going to put them all together. Okay, and one more strip. One more. Hey, I'm putting strips and strips one after another. And when you have same kind of lines, again and again repeated after one another, then do you know what it makes? Do you remember what it's called? This is called a pattern. When something repeats over and over again, it's a pattern. And it's as easy as just lines or strips again and again. We can make lines, right? We can draw them over and over again. And now it's a whole paper of the pattern, strip lines. I don't think I had enough glue in here. Okay, and after that, I am going to put the circles that I made, the glue behind them on, glue behind again, put it on, glue behind, put it on. I'm putting 2 dots here and 2 dots here. So I have same number of dots on each side. Since I cut a lot of dots, I'm going to be gluing most of them. So yesterday I made a lot of different shapes and put them all together. But today I'm just using 2 shapes, which are strips, and strips are basically lines, right? So lines and circles. So with just line and circle, you can make a really interesting pattern. A pattern where something repeats over and over again. What kind of shapes are you using? Is it line and circle like me? Or you can also do triangles, rectangles, squares, star. What other shapes are there? Diamond. What other shapes? Hearts. Oval. We know so many different shapes already. Okay, I'm almost done with this one. Just one on this side. And one more. You know what? I think I like it like this. Look at that. I am done with my patterned decoration paper collage. And look, I just used line and circles, and it looks like a very interesting shape, right? Okay, I'm going to make another one with you. And this one, I am going to use red and this cutout, this leftover cutout. I'm wondering, I can use this whole thing, or you can even fold it up and put it on like this. But I'm thinking if I should cut it up a little bit. Or maybe I'll do that. I think I'm going to cut it up diagonally. So instead of rectangle, now it's a big triangle. And I'm going to put glue behind. And then putting a glue on this one is a little tricky because of its shape. Maybe what I'll do this time, because it's such a big piece, right, is I will just color the whole half. This would make it easier for me. The glue on the whole half of the origami paper. And then this, spread it out. Make sure you press down on every part of the paper, so to make sure that everything's glued onto the paper. There we go. Alright, and now I'm going to make sure that this part, this edge is also stuck together. Alright, look at that. Already now I have a really interesting pattern because the circles repeat on top of this background. And then I'm going to put this circles that I made, which were actually all from this paper, right? So basically a one extra paper other than the backdrop is all we need to make this pattern. A pattern is something very easy and very powerful because it catches our eyes. Okay. Alright, City Kids, so we have the collages that we made today and the collages that we made yesterday, these two, and I wonder, do you notice the difference? Because they are the same collages, but the one from yesterday uses a lot more shapes. But one for today uses a lot less shapes. And they look very different, right? This looks a little more complicated and this looks a lot more simpler, but does not mean that one looks bad or better. It's just what you want to do. I thought of doing the simpler shapes today because I thought it'd be easier for everyone to make a great collages if we have less shapes. Sometimes if we have less number of shapes that we can, the limits that we have makes us make a better works. And hopefully today's lesson will do that for you. Alright everyone, that was the end of the lesson today. I hope you have a great time making the collages with your family members or with your siblings. And I will see you again tomorrow for a new lesson. Bye bye.